Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Okay. All right, let's move on from there and get to... Sorry, I accidentally muted myself there for a second.
Oh boy.
My partner says she's not sorry.
Oh, okay.
So this is Black Knight 10K says, to everyone who stabbed President Biden in the back, once we put Kamala in the Oval Office, you are done. The Democratic Party is cleaning house the way the GOP should have done with Trump and his ilk. Enjoy what little time you have left in politics. So this is what I was kind of getting at with the whole, like, you shouldn't have loyalty to a person. If Biden is no longer capable of being, like, if he's not capable of beating Trump, doesn't matter what the reasoning is, like whether it's his mental capabilities or just the fact that he's so goddamn old. Like, no, you don't have loyalty to Biden. Like, keep in mind, campaigning is basically applying for the job. The people of the United States are the employer, and they are looking at these different candidates, saying, which one should I hire for the job? Which one do I think will do the best job at this thing? You don't owe loyalty to someone in that situation.
Correct.
You hire the best candidate for the job. You don't do the DEI hire of getting the old guy because he's the old guy and you need to have old representation in Congress, as if that was even in danger of going away.
Oh, old representation. Now I'm just imagining Trump holding up a sign that says hashtag Old Lives Matter.
Yep.
Because that would be exactly
awesome. I would love that.
That's exactly what he would do.
Yeah. No, if anything, we need to get someone who's like at the very, like, what's the youngest you can be president? Is it 34?
35.
35. We need a 35-year-old president for the DEI hire, because I don't think there's been a single 35-year-old president in your history.
AOC is 34 and her birthday is October.
Come on, AOC! No, don't throw your hat in the ring this year. We need to just solidify around one person. Next time, AOC. AOC for president 2028 is the next one, I think?
Yeah, 2028.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like, no, you don't have your loyalty to Biden. He's applying for a job, and he's 81 years old, and it's a job that requires more mental acuity than your average 81-year-old has. Doesn't necessarily mean he can't do it. But, like, I don't know. He doesn't energize the base. Like, I don't know if I have a tweet about this, but did you see, like, Harris broke a bunch of fundraising records in her first day?
She got in 24 hours, she got like 80 million.
I think it crossed 100 million.
Yeah, I know that, like, eventually it hit like 240 million.
I think that was including PACs. I think the 80 million number was like just individual donors. And then it went over 200 million with PACs. But of the individual donors, 60% of them were first-time donors. So, like, these are people who have never donated to any political candidate ever, saw Harris taking over for Biden, and was like, yes, that's my girl, and I'm going to give her money.
Which is insane, but also perfect for what we have right now. Because I did a video on
energizing
this,
the base.
And I'll say exactly what I said in that video. I believe that right now we are in a unique position where people are energized for a politician more than they have been in a long time. And that's very, very important, specifically with this election that we have happening right now. Because with Biden, unanimously on the left, everybody, even the first time we voted for Biden, were like, I'm doing it because I feel like I have to.
Yeah, no, the sense that I got from actual people that I'm interacting with, because, like, obviously I'm Canadian, so I'm not voting for... Well, no, the way the GOP is describing Harris, it makes me want to mail in my vote as a dead Mexican. Just to hit all their talking points. But, yeah, no, it's like Biden was the I will bite my tongue and vote for it, even though I don't want to. Okay, someone just... Oh, that's a resubscribe. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Joseph JTEX, for resubscribing. Says, I think Biden could last 4 years. I don't think he could get reelected. I also think Harris can move the political window to the left.
I don't think she's going to move the political window to the left. I don't think that.
I don't know.
Think she's going to move.
So here's the thing. I know if you look at her record, it's very sketchy as far as like progressiveness goes. There are some things to be deeply concerned about there. However, I feel like she maybe I'm wrong about this one. I like my source for this is having seen people tweet about it, so I could very well be wrong about this, but did she snub Netanyahu when he came to speak to Congress?
So yes, she snubbed Netanyahu by instead going to talk to a sorority, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's snubbed him. She easily could be meeting with him behind closed doors, doing the politics thing, where she goes, hey, it's bad for my PR to talk with you right now, but I am talking with you. Like, that's it. Yeah. That still can be a thing. It is.
But still, the fact that she is aware enough of the public image to know that snubbing Netanyahu would be good for her campaign suggests that she is willing to do progressive things in order to maintain her position.
Yeah, which is the same thing that we were happy about with Biden, where he basically had to be held to the progressive stuff because he saw how much progressives turned out in the primaries and how he there was a worry that he was not going to be necessarily the
he was way more progressive than I thought he was going to be. I was very impressed with what Biden turned out to be compared to what I thought he was going to be. Olivia Williams says JFK was 43 when he became president. Just saying. Yeah, but that's not 35. But anyway, my point is, it doesn't matter whether she personally is progressive or kind of centrist or whatever, as long as we see that she is willing to act as though she's progressive, because what ultimately counts here is the actions.
Yeah, I don't care what's in her heart of hearts. I care what she does.
Yes. And then people in Twitch are saying Teddy was 42. That's the answer to life, the universe, and everything right there. So there you go. Teddy Roosevelt.
It's official. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt is officially the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
I hate that I loved this because it came from Blair White, because I wanted to hate it because it's Blair White. But she says the party of ACAB running a cop and the party of Blue Lives Matter running a felon is an objectively funny plot twist. She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. Tragic. The worst person you know made a great point.
Fucking Blair White.
But no, it is very funny. And it does mean I said this in my Harris video, and I'm going to say it again here. I think that it would behoove us very, very much that while Kamala is on the campaign trail, she's not the nominee yet, but we all know it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
While she's on the campaign trail, it is very important for us to lean very hard into the cops and robbers dynamic that her and Trump should very much have right now, especially because in 2020, a lot of her sub-campaign under the Biden campaign was about how Trump is the exact kind of person who I know because of my time as a prosecutor. I'm very familiar with his type.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the end of that sentence because I was busy putting my octopus on.
Oh, just the fact that Harris made it a big point during her 2020 bid with Biden to say, hey, I know exactly the kind of person who Trump is, and I'm going to put him on trial. Like, not saying specifically like what Trump was doing, I'm going to put Hillary in jail, you'll be in jail. Like, not that stupid shit, but I'm going to hold him to task type of deal. I think she should lean very hard into that.
Oh, is Bobo asking for proof? Okay, no, wait for me to read the tweet, Rosina. Come on. I was politely letting Cyrus finish his thing before I interrupted to read him.
Well, thank you for letting me finish.
Chuck Calesto says, breaking now, Representative Boebert demands for a third time proof of life on Joe Biden. I mean, we just watched him speak, but we know that's not going to...
Do we
Prove anything to
actually
anyone.
have real politicians who really have their jobs or have had their jobs at points in
She said,
time?
okay, she said a letter from a doctor is not proof of life. Like, come on, he's got a doctor's note saying, I am alive. That is proof of life.
This coming from the
Definitionally.
woman. This coming from the woman whose biggest accomplishment in life was spilling 300 million tiny lives on a man's pants
During Beetlejuice.
during Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Jesus.
oh, like, if a letter from a doctor is not proof of life, what is? Because, like, you know that video of him that we just watched giving a speech live, that's not going to count as proof of life to these people. But, like, getting a doctor to sign off on it, being like, yeah, no, I saw him. He is alive. What the fuck is wrong? Excuse me. What the fuck is wrong with you? How is that not proof of life?
It's not proof of life.
Like, I know I have to renew my kids' passports, and I have to bring proof of my wife's death, and it's basically a note from a doctor.
I'm sorry, sir. Do you have proof she died? Can
I
you supply that to me right now?
Could need to go dig up her corpse and drag it into the passport office with me.
Let's
Sorry
just
about the
grab a
smell,
corpse.
but like I need to prove that she's dead.
We're going to grab a corpse and toss it into a Lazarus pit, and just, if it pops back up, then they're dead. And if they die in it, then they weren't dead. Well, if it pops back out, they were dead. If they come out and they're younger, they were alive. And that's Lazarus pit's weird.
To be fair, my favorite clip from The Simpsons that I've used probably most often in any of my videos is that clip of like when is from the Halloween episode where Marge is a witch, and they're putting her on trial, and like, oh, we're gonna push you off this cliff, and if you plummet to your death, then that means you were a good Christian woman, and we've sent you to heaven, and everything's hunky dory. And if you survive and you fly away, you'll report back here for execution. That means you're a witch. And like, and the part of it that I usually use is Lisa running up and being like, "Stop! Doesn't the Bible say, 'Judge not, lest ye be judged'?" And then Wiggum goes, "The Bible says a lot of things. Shove her." As one of my it's one of my favorite Simpsons clips, and it shows up in the Matt Powell video coming out this Friday. Except I actually dub Matt Powell over Lisa. Doesn't the Bible say? And then it's Matt Powell's voice saying a thing.
Perfect.
All right. Ann Coulter says, why are there girl Secret Service agents?
Why are there girl Twitter posters? If you're going to do the sexism, do it with your full fucking face, woman.
Oh, her whole thing, like she was calling on people to be fired for the fact that there was a girl defending Trump. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, come on. Can you imagine? Okay, first off, the Secret Service don't get a choice in who they're assigned to. So could you imagine making it your life's work to become the elite force that is the Secret Service or whatever, and you get to that point in your life, it's a huge accomplishment for you, and then you get assigned to protect fucking Donald Trump. And then when you actually do your job, you actually put your fucking life at risk to protect this piece of shit who, let's be honest here, I'm not saying that political violence is okay. I'm not saying assassinating Trump is okay, but just a moral judgment here, he did deserve to not just get hit by the ear. Just going to say that. And they are putting their lives on the line, putting themselves in the path of the bullets to protect this piece of shit. And then to have Ann Coulter pop up on Twitter being like, she has a vagina. What's she doing there? Can't have someone with a vagina protecting Trump. She's not worth protecting Trump because she's got a vagina.
These people are insane. These people need legitimate help.
I'm just like, that's just so insulting to everything these people do. Like, just assigning them to Trump in the first place is a bit insulting to them. Like, come on.
It is. But the sadder part is that because they don't get to choose, because they don't get to actually pick anything in regards to who they defend, we get to sit here and we get to watch Matt Walsh wax lyrical about how horrible it is for women to be Secret Service agents.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Now, on the other note, so first off, regardless of your political affiliation, this is a powerful image. Like that's hard to deny. And I hate that it's a powerful image, but it is. That being said, just look at that guy. He's just like chill. It's like, yep, I'm here. Like, I know that's not what was going through his head, but he just looks so chill about everything.
You know what else wasn't going through somebody's head?
A bullet? God damn it, Saris.
You laughed.
I did laugh because it was funny. Doesn't mean it was appropriate.
Welcome to the internet.
Ugh.
Jesus. But no, that image right there genuinely upsets me, because the only reason that image exists is because Trump is an actor.
Yeah.
That image only exists because Trump knows how to play to the camera. That's it.
That's one of the things that he actually learned that from his ghostwriter that wrote The Art of the Deal. Like there's an article that was written by the ghostwriter that explains how like every moment you're supposed to be thinking about like how this moment will look when you do a freeze frame or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be assumed that Trump and his ghostwriter had enough of a relationship that they like the ghostwriter knew his thought processes enough to write a book that sounded like it could have come from Trump. So like that's how he lives his life, is how would this moment look if he just took a still image of it?
And that's exactly what we see there.
That's like the one thing that Trump is good at. He's not good at businesses. They all go bankrupt. But he knew as soon as that bullet hit him and he knew what was going on. It's like, oh, if I start pumping my fist in the air, that's going to look fucking awesome.
Even if it was objectively the stupidest thing he could have done in that particular instance.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, the guttural part of me wants to say that I wish the bullet didn't miss, but then I'm like, I don't know, like turning him into a martyr, that was because like, you know, if he dies in a hospital bed somewhere, people are still gonna like, there's still gonna be conspiracy theories about how that was actually the Democrats killing him. But that won't gain the same traction as if he was actually killed at a rally. And so like, I don't know who the candidate would be if they offed Trump, if that successfully happened. I mean, now it would be JD Vance, but like the way that would coalesce the base and energize them, like I'm actually glad that he didn't die.
Oh.
If Trump truly lived his life as if a freeze frame could occur at any time, he wouldn't play tennis or golf. Okay, fair point.
You know,
we've all seen those pictures. James Lindsay says, let's talk about Kamala Harris saying to see what can be unburdened by what has been. This phrase,
this whole like, this is an esoteric phrase. It means Baphomet. I had a meltdown about this last night on stream.
Yeah. So this phrase,
I'm man enough to admit it.
Yeah, this phrase, which she repeats all the time, is not mysterious, it's esoteric. That is, it's a cult. It's Marxist and Luciferian incantation. And that's easily seen. So, I know he went on this whole long, like, 75 tweet screed about how, like, the fact that she puts her right hand up for the first part and then uses her left hand for the second part, mimics what the Baphomet statue does or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he reads way too much into it, and like I didn't read the whole thing. I just thought it was funny that like within moments, like this was within moments of her being announced as like being endorsed by Biden as his successor. There's suddenly a long screed about how she's a Marxist, Luciferian, occultic, whatever.
None of this was important for the 3 years of information that he compiled.
Nobody mentioned Kamala Harris has been out of the public eye for the most part. until suddenly Biden endorses her as a candidate. And now all of a sudden she's a Marxist Luciferian occultist.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, let me reiterate, if she actually was, that would be fucking awesome compared to what she actually is. But also, James Lindsay, if you're not familiar with him, he's the guy that, like, the reason his Twitter handle, Conceptual James, is because he's so proud of that one time when he got a paper published about the conceptual penis that was supposed to be him trolling the feminists by showing how easy it is to get feminist papers published that say ridiculous things, except he couldn't actually get his paper published in any legitimate journals. He had to go to one of those pay-to-play ones where if you pay them $6,000 or whatever, I don't know what amount he paid, but like you pay a certain amount and they'll publish you regardless of how shit your thing is. That's where he ended up publishing. And then he used the fact that he got it published to be like, see, they'll publish anything.
And then it, didn't actually do what he said it did.
No. But it's funny to me that he made that his whole persona. That is his Twitter handle now, because he thinks that was his way of owning the libs or whatever. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, he spent a bunch of his, well, realistically, it was people donating to him, but he spent a bunch of money to publish in a pay-to-play journal that anyone can publish in if they have the money to spend on it. That doesn't prove shit.
Nope, not even a little bit.
Like, even if he had gotten published in a legitimate journal, worst case scenario, that proves that the peer review process has some issues, which we know that it does. But he couldn't even exploit the issues that we know that it has. He had to go to the pay-to-play model to publish in a third-rate journal that will publish anything that pays them. So, yeah, he's a hack.
He is, but he gets to pretend that he's important on the internet. What does he even technically do anymore?
I don't fucking know.
Just get paid to do speaking engagements? Is that all he does?
That's probably it. It's very lucrative. Like, I don't know. I see Tim Pool doing the Tim Pool thing and being a very obvious idiot. And I'm just like, if I didn't have morals, I could be so fucking rich. It would be so easy. Like, yeah, I'm very clearly a leftist. If I came out tomorrow, I was being like, oh no, I learned this one thing that made me realize the left is nutty, then I could very easily make my way into the right-wing speaking circuit and just say stupid things that are easily debunkable and very clearly don't align with what I actually believe. But it doesn't matter because I'm saying what people want to hear. And you can make so much money that way. But I have morals. And I'm not willing to...
willing to compromise them for the money.
Like, the platform that I have, I feel like I have a responsibility to use it to try and make the world a better place. So to try and do that, to just be like, oh, well, what will make me money in the short term is just like, I can't.
No, and that's called being a responsible content creator, caring about legitimacy and facts and just other inconvenient things like that, you know.
And I mean, it also comes along with, like, sometimes I'm wrong about shit. And if I am wrong about shit, I will admit that I'm wrong about shit and apologize for it and issue corrections. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
Nephron says, he's a grifter, baby, a goddamn grifter, baby.
No, a grifter goddamn baby. Come on, get it right.
Well, I was just reading it as it was written.
That is a good song, though.
It is.
Yeah, no, sometimes I wish I didn't have the integrity that I do, because I could make way more money if I didn't.
Instead,
my partner just let out a really big sigh, so I feel like she's feeling it as well.
I wish you were a piece of shit.
No, you don't. Come
Jesus.
On. Okay, Neil Murray says, is there a functional difference between what you call a paradox of tolerance and an ideology of absolutist intolerance, liberationism, also known as cultural Marxism? Like
That was a lot of words.
did this person like go to their buzzword thesaurus before writing this tweet?
Just grab everything they possibly could.
Yeah, like
I think
that's
so.
all that it's just full of buzzwords. Like the paradox of tolerance is very easy. It's if you tolerate intolerant people, then you lose tolerance. So you don't tolerate the intolerant. It's that's not difficult.
If you put a group of Nazis and a group of Jews onto a no holds barred conversation board, the Nazis are going to speak a lot louder, and they're going to make it an uncomfortable place for the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Jews that are on the board are going to stop speaking. Now, technically, can they speak? Yes, absolutely. They have the ability to do so, but it is both inconvenient for them to speak. It is almost harmful for them to try and speak. It is dangerous in many cases for many reasons for them to attempt to even be on the board at all, let alone try to speak on it. Eventually, you will only have Nazis on the board. So to solve this, you have to identify what intolerance is, and then you remove the intolerance, and then suddenly the Nazis are allowed to speak on the board. They just can't say Nazi shit. And the Jews are allowed to speak on the board unless they'd find some way to be equally hateful. But, you know, there are no Gazans on the board right now, so I don't think that's going to happen.
God damn it, Cyrus.
I'm sorry.
You're not wrong.
I've made enough comments about it's unfortunate that Israel learned all of the stuff during Germany just so they could try to do it to Gaza. Like that's
okay.
Not how that's supposed
I'm
to go.
going pee now, so you can dig us out of that hole while I'm gone.
But it's just the paradox of tolerance is super easy to understand because all you have to do is figure out where the hateful rhetoric is coming from. And if you can identify the hateful rhetoric, then you just go, okay, cool. As long as you who are doing the hateful rhetoric are not able are able to say your bullshit, the other group of people that are currently being oppressed by you are not able to function. So we stop you from saying the thing, and suddenly y'all are able to do stuff. As long as you don't do other hateful shit, everybody will be able to do stuff. Jesus. That president says, oh, that's what happened to Twitter. That's basically what happened to Twitter. So because we know that Elon Musk basically brought in a whole bunch of API changes that have allowed him to whitelist people like, you know, Che or Sheik and other right-wing commenters, Twitter has become far more toxic and far harder to be on because it's easier to be a bigot on Twitter. Always. Very, very always. Dan says it goes beyond Gaza. Understandably, it goes beyond Gaza, but as of right now, the major conflict that is on everybody's minds is Israel's genocide of Gaza, period. Which is obviously not saying that all Jews are doing it. That's conspiracy-minded bullshit. But it is almost a matter of fact that Israel is attempting to wipe out everything that we currently know as Gaza, which is a form of genocide. Van Briggs says, slurp some water and stop with the fucking Haktua shit. Jesus Christ. It stopped being endearing like a few days after she said it. Colleen says, oh, there's a list of people Twitter has whitelisted to be able to say slurs. Yep. And that's a huge issue. But, you know, These people who freak out about the paradox of tolerance only want to be in a board where they have the ability to say whatever the hell they want and abuse whomever the hell they want. Sunbrim says, I'm an equal opportunity bigot and very open, even-tempered person. I hate everyone and am constantly enraged. That's not good. That's not good at all. Dither says, I think even she's tired of the joke too. It's so weird that she was able to launch an entire like media career effectively off of that.
Ooh, are we talking about Twitter's API again?
No, I was talking about the fact that the Haktua girl was able to launch such a hugely lucrative campaign effectively as a media personality.
Okay, next tweet. Objectively Christian says, frankly, it's not the right question. Of course, in the law, God grants conditions for slavery. The right question is that a deal breaker? To which the answer is yes.
Yes.
Obviously.
Like, yes, that is a deal breaker. I don't understand why this wouldn't be a deal breaker.
Yeah, why would slavery not be a deal breaker? I don't understand why owning other people as property would not be a deal breaker for a moral code.
The right question is that a deal breaker?
Oh, Kit says Neuralink your dog, eh? No, I actually love my dog, so absolutely not.
Yeah, we would like the dog to be able to survive many more moons.
Yeah, no, we just stuck the little microchip in her that if she ever gets lost, they will scan it at the animal shelter, and our phone number will be attached to it. And they'll just call us and be like, hey, we got your dog.
Tom, the not so brave as Lancelot, followed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So, yeah. So this is one of those things where it's like, if you're going to claim that the Bible is the inerrant word of God, you find yourself doing weird things like defending slavery, because slavery is very clearly allowed in the Bible.
Yep.
So, the things Christians will say to try and not contradict their own book. Pierce Morgan says, where is Joe Biden? Astounding that he hasn't been seen or heard since quitting the race.
This was like 24 hours after he released the statement, after he was confirmed to have COVID.
So now I did pull this before it was announced that he was going to be speaking tonight. That was kind of a last minute change that we decided we were going to watch that as well. I still think it's kind of funny because, like, realistically, like, Biden announced that he is no longer campaigning, which means that he shouldn't be visible. He's now passing the torch on to the next person. So whoever is left campaigning is the person that should be visible. He should be stepping aside. So the fact that he's not in the spotlight is exactly what we would expect from someone who is just doing their job and not campaigning for the next job. Like, I don't understand why it's a problem that Joe Biden was not, like, and that's even ignoring the fact that he had COVID in this whole flurry of things happening. Like, yeah, he's recovering from a severe illness. It's okay for him to not be on camera every day while doing that.
Not according to Piers Morgan, though, and don't you know, his word is law.
Is it? No, I don't know that. Sorry.
You don't know that?
Nope.
Well, I know it's news to you, but we've got to tell you the awful truth.
He's the King of England?
He's the King of England.
I mean, where is Charles? I haven't seen him on the cameras for a while.
Hashtag where is Charles?
Yeah. Piers Morgan's new hashtag Piers Morgan for king. I mean, why the fuck not? He'd be just as effective as Chuck. All right, so this is an account that I follow on Twitter that they were on the whitelist for they're allowed to say slurs that you sent me. But this account basically just takes Trump's Truth Social things and reposts them on Twitter, which I've decided that's how I'm going to get Trump's shit from now on, because I don't want to go to Truth Social. I don't want to go to Twitter anymore either, but I'm already there.
You don't want to go to Truth Social?
Piers Morgan just wants to whack to new videos of Biden. Maybe. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. As a newly out of the closet pansexual who leans towards women, I don't want to whack it to Biden. But I would if that was the only option.
Sure.
It's like, I don't want to masturbate to gay porn, but if there's nothing else, why not?
Sure. Why not? We're already here anyway.
Anyway, so apparently Trump said only 104 days now until the most important election of our lifetime. Where is Joe Biden? He posted this after Joe Biden dropped out of the race, so like Joe Biden is no longer in the most important election in our lifetime. So why does it matter where he is?
He's just
presidenting
at home. He's just
he
at
is
home
either
presidenting.
presidenting or recovering from COVID. Either one, you're not entitled to a live feed of his bedroom.
What if I want it? No, I don't want a live feed of his bedroom. I'm good.
Sean Helfin says he's just out getting ice cream.
He does like ice cream.
Everybody who doesn't like ice cream, I can't believe that that's a thing that they. Well, I mean, I can believe it because they latched onto Obama's tan fucking suit. But
and there are people who don't like
cream.
chocolate, and they're wrong.
They are wrong. And who's running the country? Who has the nuclear football? I don't know who has the nuclear football. Who's running the country? A weird mishmash of politicians.
Whoever needs to be running the country at the time.
Because the president is not the king. So, like, it's this weird mishmash of, like, sometimes the president can do powerful things that impact the country greatly. Sometimes Congress can do powerful things that impact the country greatly. Sometimes the Supreme Court can do powerful things that impact the country greatly. That's the whole 3 branches of government thing that is supposed to be, like, grade 6 civics for you guys. But apparently some random Canadian who's a college dropout knows that more than a former president of the United States.
Apparently.
Ooh, Frankie Turek. I think we have a couple from Frank.
No, why do we have to have any from Frank?
He says, folks who say they're fighting for tolerance are often the most intolerant people out there. They don't tolerate people that don't agree with them, and that is not the definition of tolerance. In order to tolerate someone, you have to disagree with them. Okay, first off, you can tolerate people that you agree with.
Yeah, you can. It's a perfectly reasonable thing to do.
So, like, he doesn't even know how tolerance works. But secondly, their whole pretending that the paradox of tolerance is actually difficult is just so mind-boggling to me. Like, I don't want to rehash it because you did a perfectly good explanation of it earlier, but it's so fucking obvious. I just don't understand why it's so hard to understand. Second Frank Turek tweet is, if Biden is out because he's losing, then aren't the Dems a threat to democracy by forcing out their democratically elected candidate? No, because he wasn't elected as the candidate yet. And also, when you vote for the candidate and you know who their VP pick is, you know that if the candidate is out, the VP pick is the automatic takeover for that. So
this is
literally
part of
the democratic process.
Yeah, all of this is literally exactly how our democracy has functioned for about 150 of the years we've been around. This is exactly how things have functioned for a very long time, right? Yeah.
And then if Biden is out because he's mentally compromised, then aren't the Dems a threat to democracy for not insisting that he resign now?
So he's just saying that he can envision a world in which no matter what the reality is, he's always right. As always with Frank.
Well, cool. Like, the thing with Biden is, like, there isn't really evidence to suggest that he is mentally incapable of doing the job. Like, was he bad at the debate? Yes. Is the job of president, like, does that require the same skill set as debates? There is some overlap, to be sure, but, like, there's so much more to being president than being able to, have a commanding presence on a debate stage. Does having a commanding presence help? Sure. Is it required? No.
Nope.
So, like, just because he did bad in a debate doesn't mean he's not capable. Now, that said, I am perfectly happy that he is dropping out of the race. Oh, I see. Natural beef flavor contains hydrolyzed wheat and hydrolyzed milk and starting ingredients for McDonald's fries. Sure. I don't know. All right. Vintage Kayak 3407. Oh, this was a comment on one of my videos. Says, I'm not Christian, but I don't know why you gotta shit on them. Probably the most harmless group of people I can think of. Off the dome. I'm so happy for this person that they can live in complete ignorance of Project 2025. But they are quite literally the least harmless group of people that I can think of off the dome. Like, you look at the terrorist acts that have happened in the United States in the last decade or so.
Look at the people who have been made homeless because
Christian
their parents have
nationalists.
thrown them away because of being because they were Christian.
Yeah.
Look at the people who were Christians as parents, had a kid who was gay or trans, and then disavowed their child because of that. I'm sorry, we're not doing the harmless. Like, belief is a harmless thing here.
Oh, to be fair, there are people that probably would not adopt the Christian label that are also pieces of shit when it comes to trans issues.
True. No, 100%. But, like,
I happen to know that because one of my kids has a dad that is that.
Mm-hmm. Like, the fact of the matter is, if somebody is hiding behind their Bible for bigotry, then I am willing to play their game and blame their Bible for every single bit of bigotry that they are ascribing to. I'm willing to do that if they want to play that game. Typically, I will take the stance that Christians and people simply being Christian doesn't make them a bad person, because it doesn't. But if somebody wants to do the whole, no, I'm not angry at gay people, but God says in Roman that they're not getting into heaven, so, by proxy, and then there's Leviticus. Like, if they're going to do that, I'm going to be, okay, cool, so your book's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want to play that game? You want to shift that goalpost? Fine. I'll shift right along with you and we'll just go after the book. No, you can't do that. Yes, I can. And it's your fault.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. We made it through the tweets.
Oh, that's the last one?
That was the last one.